Well, Jeff, now it's time to introduce another one of your favorite guests to the show, someone who is my personal cryptocurrency advisor, and that is income specialist Michael Eastham. He's founder of Fellowship Financial Group, a retirement income store located just outside of Orlando, Florida. He's also best-selling author of the book, Common Sense Income Strategies. Michael, thanks so much for being back with us here on the show.
It's always good to share some time with you guys.
So Dave, you forgot to mention not only my favorite guest, but also my neighbor, just an hour away. He's close.
Very true. Yes, sir. Yeah.
So Michael, have you heard of many questions from your clients or potential clients about cryptocurrency in the last year or two?
Oh yeah, we've gotten quite a few inquiries and questions, and people just wondering, what's going on with it, and how can they kind of be a part, if you will.
Yeah, there's kind of a FOMO environment with cryptocurrency. Even the older investors are inquiring about it. But what is your basic message to retired investors right now about this crypto craze?
Well, it's funny you brought that up specifically, because I'm always telling clients, beware of the FOMO, beware of fear of missing out, because it can be very deceptive. The bottom line right now is that crypto it's a speculative bet, and it can be very complicated, very confusing. And the bizarre thing to me is, you're right, Jeff. I mean, people are just jumping in without really understanding what's going on, and that is a scary thing to see, to tell you the truth. So my advice to the older investors is pretty much, move forward with caution, but make sure you're educated. Don't just jump in because everybody's talking about it. That's the wrong thing to do.
Yeah, I kind of see cryptocurrency as, you buy the lows, or you buy the lows and you sell the highs, and you get in and you get out. It's not, or you got to hold it for the long term, let's say, and just it's speculative bubble money that you can afford to live without. But, I don't really see it affecting our industry, our practices. I think people are going to treat it like a small inflation hedge in a gold or energy position. How do you feel about that, Mike?
Well, I think that's missing the big picture, to tell you the truth. I mean, there is a broad potential application for cryptocurrencies, not only industry-wise, but on a global basis. But it's just going to take one of those, it's going to take some time for that to develop if it's actually going to prosper. So I think that the bottom line is that if you're proactive and you're trying to learn about different things, then it can be a good value add in terms of the advice that you give clients. If you're looking forward to what's going to impact our economies going forward, then
even though it's fallen 50% from its high, Mike?
Well, look, the stock market's fallen 50% from its high multiple times. And people are still jumping in. They're still using it as a value over the long run. So
that's a good point. So whereas it doesn't fit in an income portfolio, you're saying in a growth portfolio that has lots of stocks, maybe using it as a hedge, almost like a digital gold, is where it could fit in. But again, more for the G, the growth, not so much the I, the income. Is that, if I'm hearing you correctly?
Mostly the G at this point. However, there is an element that is developing now. It's kind of in an infancy stage where income can be an opportunity. But again, this is one of those don't try this at home things, because you've got to know what you're doing, or else you can really fall into the wrong hands.
Now, it's interesting because a lot of people think it's here to stay. Cryptocurrencies are here. The question is, which ones are going to be the more permanent cryptocurrencies that last longer? And of course, Bitcoin has the biggest head start out there in the market. But there's some that think it could be the next tulip mania because there's no industrial use for Bitcoin like there is gold and silver. And that someday everybody will look back and say that was the biggest speculative bubble. How do we ever fall for it? Your thoughts?
Well, I think that's a little naive, simply because of the fact that the blockchain technology on which Bitcoin and other major currencies are built, that has tremendous industrial application, not necessarily in the manufacturing sector, but certainly on the consulting side, on the IT side, and on the systems development side. So there are a lot of actual applications for cryptocurrency on the blockchain, and you're seeing that by the foray of of major consulting organizations and major technology organizations around the world.
Yeah, more and more big companies are certainly adopting it, which is certainly an argument to back up what you just said. So, Michael,
and I don't mean just investing in it. I mean actual applications.
That's right. That's right. No, I understand that. And Michael, thanks so much for joining us. Always great to have my own cryptocurrency advisor on the show with us.